Om Vakratunda Mahakaya Suryakoటి Samaprabha Nirvignam Kuru Me Deva Sarvakaryeshu Sarvada. Om Shri Mahaganapataye Namaha. Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om Sadashiva Samarambham Shankaracharya Madhyamam Asmadacharya Padyantam Vande Guru Paramparam Asmad Gurubhyo Namaha. Sutismati-purāṇānaṁ ālayam karuṇālayam namāmi bhagavatpādam Shankaram lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutrabhāshyakritau vande Bhagavantau punah punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murtibheda Vibhagine Vyomavat Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Om Shri Medha Dakshinamurti Swamine Namaha. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahano Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Om Parthaya Pratibodhitam Bhagavata Narayanena Swayam Vyasena Gratitam Purana Munina Madhye Mahabharatam Advaitamrita Varshinim Bhagavatim Ashtadashadhyayinim Ambatvam Anusandadami Bhagavad Gita Bhavadveshinim Yam Brahma Varunendra Rudra Marutaha स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्ख्यपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः. So namaste once again everyone.
Namaste Guruji, pranam.
Pranam.
Namaste Guruji.
Namaste, namaste. So we just chanted the 18th sloka in the last class. We have to discuss it. We will chant from today onwards. What we will do is like what we are doing in Mundaka Upanishad. We will also chant the Bhagavad Gita slokas. I will chant and you can chant after me. Okay. Gatir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi.
Gatir Bharta Prabhu Sakshi.
Nivasa Sharanam Suhrite.
Sharanam Surita.
Prabhava Pralayasthanam. Nidhanam Bijamavyayam. Good. So the Anvaya I will give, even though Krishna doesn't say so, he is talking about himself, right? In all these slokas. So we will start the Anvaya Aham within bracket. Aham Gatihi Bharta Prabhuhu Sakshi Nivasaha Sharanam Suhrut Prabhavaha Pralayaha Sthanam Nidhanam Avyayam Bijam Cha Asmi. That way we can complete the sentence. Gatihi, I am the goal. Bharta hai, the sustainer. Prabhuhu, the master. Sakshi, the witness. Nivasaha, the abode. Sharanam, the refuge. Suhrit, the well-wisher. Prabhavaha, the source. Pralayaha, the ground of resolution. Sthanam, the support. Nidhanam, the repository. Avyayam Bijam, all the inexhaustible seed. So I am the goal, the sustainer, the master, the witness, the abode, the refuge, the well-wisher, the source, ground of resolution, the support, the repository of all, and the inexhaustible seed. So we are discussing the description of Aneka Rupa Ishvara or Vishwarupa Ishvara from verse number 16, where Krishna is helping Arjuna and through him helping us to see everything in the creation as God. So in this shloka also, Krishna gives a list of things and points out that all these things are I myself or Ishvaraha only. So we have to add Aham to every Nama, or we can add Ishvaraha to every Nama. So you can say Aham Gatihi, Aham Bharta, Aham Prabhu, or Aham Gatihi Ishvara, Krishna hai. That is Gatihi Ishvara hai or Krishna hai. Bharta Ishvara hai, Prabhu Ishvara hai, Sakshi Krishna Ishvara hai. In fact, Sarvam Krishna Mayam. And when we say Sarvam Krishna Mayam, Sarvam Ishvara Mayam, if Ramanavami comes, Sarvam Ramamayam Jagat. So whichever God that we are having as a personal God, the moment we actually graduate from seeing it as an individual God, Ekarupa Ishvara, to Aneka Rupa Ishvara, any Nama you give, that is the name of the Lord. In fact, in these 16 to 19 verse, if you connect it with the verse in the 4th chapter, what was that? There, Krishna said, Brahmarpanam Brahmahavihi Brahmagnau Brahmanahutam Brahmaiva Tena Gantavyam Brahma Karma Samadhina. There he pointed out that everything in this universe is Brahman only. Right? So we see everything as Brahma. Now here in these slokas, Krishna is saying that everything is I am. I am everything. So what does it mean? If you put these slokas together, it is actually Mahavakya. Krishna is saying Aham Brahmasmi. There he said Brahman, here he says Aham. So if you read all these slokas together, it is nothing but Mahavakya Aham Brahmasmi. And that is the fundamental teaching of the Upanishads, fundamental teaching of Bhagavad Gita also. Just it occurred to me, when we were thinking, so that sloka, we can connect it here. Okay. Now we will see the meaning of each one of these namas. So Gatihi. Gatihi means destination, a goal, which is kept in mind by every person. At one level, we can say it is karma phalam. Karma phalam is always the goal of a person. Whether it is Vaidika karma or Laukika karma. Every person is doing karma not because he enjoys doing it, but only for the sake of a particular phalam, a particular result. Therefore, every karta has karma phalam as his destination. And in this, in Sanskrit, destination is called gatihi. Therefore, gatihi is equal to destination or karma phalam. And Krishna says, every karma phalam I am. What does it mean? Success is one type of karma phalam. Because whatever we do in our life, we want success. So that is one type of karma phalam. But failure is also another type of karma phalam. Isn't it? Because despite all your efforts, you may not succeed, which means failure. That is also a result of the karmas that you have done only. How do we understand that? We have repeated this so many times. Because whatever we get in life is a combination of two things. Atma prayatna hai and also Ishvara anugraha hai. And Ishvara anugraha is based upon our past karmas. The phalam of the past karmas. We can put whatever effort we want to put. But if our past karmas do not support those efforts for us to gain the destination, gain the karma phalam, then it will be a failure. So Krishna says here, I am success, I am karma phalam as failure also. And therefore, this is a change in our attitude. Never reject failure. Rejection of failure is rejection of God. One should work for success, no doubt. That is very good. But be prepared to welcome failure if and when it comes. And this alone Krishna said in the second chapter also. Siddhya siddhyo samo bhutva. Remember? And then in the later he also said, Sukha dukke same kritva labha labhau jaya jayau. So both success and failure are nothing but God only. Therefore, all good and bad, any experience that we get, we should learn to accept it at God Himself. Even if there is some difficulty experienced, even if some biological pain is there, once there is no resistance, the psychological sorrow also will be greatly reduced or practically not there at all. Because we cannot stop biological pain. We cannot stop discomfort. But what we can stop is worry and sorrow by avoiding resistance to pain. Because basically, if you see, resistance produces heat. That is a law in physics. Whenever there is a wire with lot of resistance, you pass current through that, the temperature increases. It gets heated up. And therefore, when there is physical pain, as youngsters say, take a chill pill. It's all, from children we learn all these terminologies, modern terminologies. When there is any pain, take a chill pill. Just accept it. Therefore, gatihi ishvaraha. Then bharta hai. Bharta hai literally means sustainer. In fact, in Malayalam, in Sanskrit also, there is another meaning for bharta, means husband. But that is not actually the correct, in the sense, the strict meaning. Because normally in olden days and even today also in many families, the husband is the sustainer. He is called bharta. And in this context, when Krishna is saying, Aham bharta hai or bharta hai Ishvara hai, it means karma phala data. I am the one who gives karma phalam. And why Krishna says, I am the giver of karma phalam? Because to determine the karma phalam, the result of any action, I should take into account all the laws of creation. every action produces a result depending upon an infinite number of factors. In fact, if we go and ask these meteorologists, who actually predict the weather and all, whether it will rain or what will be sunshine, etc., they take into account more than 160 factors or something like that just to predict rain. And in spite of all that, when they say tomorrow rain will come, tomorrow everything other than rain comes. That means what? Even after analyzing so many factors, and they are very scientific, they could go wrong. Because that is the nature of the cosmic powers. While there is a significant amount of predictability, there is also an equal amount of unpredictability. There are still hidden unknown factors. So only an omniscient person or a principle can perfectly determine the karma phalam. And there is only one omniscient one, that is Ishvara. And therefore, it is impossible for a jiva to take into account all the factors which determine the karma phala. It is not a very simple equation. So, jiva can never be a karma phala dhata. Therefore, Krishna says, I am karma phala dhata, I am the result, I give you the result. So, in the previous one, he said, I am karma phalam. Now he says, I am the giver of the karma phalam. That means what? He is asking, how can you ever reject any karma phala? And not only in the Sanatana Dharma, even Christianity, the Bible says, thine will be done. So our attitude should be, oh Lord, whatever you decide, that will happen, and I accept it. I will never ask a question, why me? I will never ask why it should fall on my head and not on my neighbor's head. We must understand Lord can never be unjust. He is the Bharta, sustainer of all. Then Prabhu. Prabhu means the one who is a master, who is capable of doing his job of dispensing the results of karma. Because to become the karma phala data, Lord must have two things: omniscience and also omnipotence. Sarvajna and Sarvashaktiman. And that Shakti is there with Ishvara, and therefore he is Prabhu. Prabhavati iti Prabhu. Prabhavati means to be capable, to be competent. So Prabhu means the competent one to do what? Karma phala dhanam. Then he says, Aham Sakshi. He says, while I am doing all these, this kind of gotala, karma phalam data and all that, all this mischief, giving varieties of karma phalam to people through natural calamities, accidents. See what is happening today around in India, all this cloud burst and all. It's all karma phalam coming down in the form of cloud burst. Bhagavan is only giving the karma phalam. And that is why, the earthquake remaining the same, all jivas do not get uniform experience. That varies because of karma phalam, punya papa bheda. And when all jivas are affected in the same way, it is samashti karma phalam. And therefore, karma phalam can be vyashti, individual, or samashti as a group. And that is why we find that in many accidents, a number of people die. At the same time, a few escape also. In fact, the recent tragic disaster of the Air India flight crash at Ahmedabad is a glaring example. Amongst all passengers, only one person miraculously escaped death. Why? Karma phalam. Therefore, Krishna says, from vyavaharika drishtya, I do all kinds of mischief, but at the same time, from my original nature standpoint, Chaitanya drishtya, Swarupa drishtya, aham sakshi asmi. Remember the sloka, 5th chapter. Pashyan Srinvan Sprishan Jigran Ashnan Gachan Swapan Shwasan. So I am just witnessing all these things. From the standpoint of Maya, Shakti, I do everything. But from my own standpoint, I am mere witness. 7th chapter, Apara Prakriti Drishtya, I do everything. Para Prakriti Drishtya, I am Sakshi. Shvetashvatara Upanishad says, Sakshi Chetah Kevalo Nirgunascha. Pure consciousness is only a witness, Sakshi. So, Aham Sakshi. Then next he says, Aham Nivasaha. Nivasaha means I am the abode of everything. I am Vishwa Adharaha. Shantakaram Bhujagashayanam Patmanabam Suresham Vishwadharam Gagana Sadrisham. I am the very Adhara of the world. In fact, in that one sloka itself in Vishnu Sahasranamam, we see Bhujagashayanam. Bhagavan is lying on the Bhujaga, a snake. Therefore, in the first line, the snake is supporting the Lord. Poor Bhagavan, personal God is lying on the Bhujaga snake. Puja Swamiji used to say that this was the first spring court in the world. Coiled snake is like a spring court. Therefore, in the first line, the snake is Adhara, the support. And Lord is supported by the snake. But in the second line of the same sloka, the whole thing is reversed. In fact, the Lord is not lying on the snake. On the other hand, the whole creation is resting on the Lord. And therefore, it says, Vishwadharam, Gagana Sadrisham. And therefore, Nivasaha. Nivasati asmin sarvam iti nivasaha. Then aham sharanam. Sharanam means shelter, refuge. So when every other person in the world rejects me, when every other person is not able to help me, when I become totally helpless, as Arjuna became in the battleground in the first chapter we saw, Bhagavan says, I am the ultimate refuge for everyone. That means what? I am Artatrana Parayanaha. I am the protector of the person who surrenders to me. We have stories of Dhruva, Prahlada, Draupadi, Gajendra. So many stories are there in our Itihasa and Purana. And all these stories indicate only one thing, that the Lord is a twofold protector. The Lord protects from incidental problems that a person faces, like Draupadi or Gajendra. And so also the Lord is a protector from the ultimate protector. Lord is the ultimate protector from samsara also. To give incidental protection, the Lord has to only kill that person concerned. Like he killed Gajendra, with the Sudarshana Chakra. Sudarshana Chakra. Now today Modi, our Prime Minister Modi said, we are going to develop that Sudarshana Chakra. I'm just reminded. So for saving Gajendra, the Lord had to destroy the crocodile. But when the samsara crocodile is tormenting me, I surrender to the Lord. Then Bhagavan sends the Sudarshana Chakram. In fact, Sudarshanam has a meaning also, Sushtu Darshanam. And Darshanam means Jnanam. Another meaning of Darshanam means Jnanam. So he will send Aham Brahmasmi Sudarshana Chakram, and through Tattvamasi Mahavakya Upadesha that he sends, he destroys the crocodile of samsara. Therefore, I am Sharanam. Shiryate Dukkham Asmin Iti Sharanam. Sharanam by definition means that in whose presence we are free from all our problems. Shiryate Dukkham Asmin. So I am Sharanam. Then Suhrit. Suhrit means a well-wisher. There are two words in Sanskrit, Suhrit and Mitra. Mitram also is a friend, Suhrit also is translated as a friend. But there is a subtle difference. In fact, we have seen in the 6th chapter, if you remember, Suhran Mitrar Yudasinam Adhyastadveshya Bandhushu Sadhushvapina Chapapeshu Samabuddhir Visishyate. So there, Krishna used both the words Suhran and Mitra. What is the difference? When I know someone, because of my acquaintance and familiarity, I help him. But there is also an underlying expectation that if I help him today, he may help me tomorrow. That kind of person is called Mitram. Pratyopakaram apekshya upakarta Mitram. Whereas Suhrit is one who helps another person even if that person is unknown. He says that person is a deserving case and then he helps. And not only he helps, even an unknown person, he helps without expecting anything in return. Pratyupakaram anapeksha upakarta suhrit. Like for example, we are going on the road. There is one person going on a two-wheeler and he has an accident. He falls down. We go and rush to help him. Give him some water. Might be injured. Then if the vehicle is lying down, then we make the vehicle straight and take the vehicle and the person to a corner so that the traffic is not interrupted. All this why we do? That person is not known to us. Is somebody XYZ. And then we don't say, oh, I will help him today, so tomorrow when I fall from my two-wheeler, he will help me. No. No such expectation is there. And therefore, what is the Lord? Lord comes under Suhrit category. he does not expect any pratyopakaram. That is why when we pray for something from the Lord, we need not be anxious. We need not think that if my prayers are answered, I will give something to the Lord in return and all. People do it, of course. They think that Lord is a Mitram, not Suhrit. Krishna here is clarifying, please note, I am not Mitram, I am Suhrit. That kind of anxiety need not be there because Lord is a Suhrit. But of course, that does not mean you need not offer anything. It need not be quid pro quo. That's all. Where some people say, oh, if I get this project or this tender, I will come to Tirupati and offer so many lakh rupees. That is all. If you think that God is going to perform in that manner, then you have not understood what Ishvara is. You have not seen 7th chapter, 8th chapter, 9th chapter. 8th, forget 7th and 9th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you have not studied. So we need not have any kind of anxiety. You can pray to the Lord. I am in great difficulty, O Lord. Please come to my rescue. I surrender to you. Come to my rescue. I know that the difficulty I am facing is because of my own karma phalam of the past. That is what you have actually given me. But if there is a way to help me out of this, please do. And in return, you need not promise anything. If his Lord is able to at least alleviate to some extent your trouble, as a thanksgiving, you can go and give something to the Lord. That's a different thing altogether, not a quid pro quo. So, Suhrit. Next one, Prabhavaha. There are three words which come together. Prabhavaha, Pralayaha, Sthanam. Prabhavaha means Srishti Karanam. Sthanam means Sthiti Karanam. Pralayaha means Laya Karanam. So these three words put together means Srishti, Sthiti, Laya Karanam. So Bhagavan is saying here, I am Srishti, Sthiti, Laya Karanam. I am the substratum from whom the creation arises, in whom the creation rests, and into whom the creation resolves. I am the adhishthanam of the entire creation. Whatever happens to the creation happens in me only. Then Nidhanam. Nidhanam means storehouse, repository of everything in the creation. Not only everything, even every knowledge also. So suppose scientists discover some new theorem or some new laws, physical laws or whatever it is, or chemical laws, which till now nobody has discovered. Now, is it new knowledge or the knowledge already existed? The moment we say discover means what? Uncover. It means it already existed but was found now. So strictly speaking, whenever we talk of invention, there is nothing called invention. Everything is discovery only. Because if it did not exist, any scientist or any person would not have been able to find it. Only thing is, till now we did not know the existence of that. And somebody for the first time, he discovered that and he calls it invention because it is his own doing. For example, before Newton discovered the law of gravity, did the law of gravity existed or not? It was always there from the beginning of the creation. But Newton only discovered it. In fact, Newton discovered it as per the modern education texts. If you look, our Shastra says that even before discovery of that knowledge, that law of gravity is there in our scriptures, has been talked about in the scriptures. Therefore, even when it is talked about in the scriptures, that knowledge exists in the creation. Then only scriptures can talk about it. And who gave the scriptures? It existed in the Lord. Scriptures were given by the Lord. So Lord knows this knowledge existed in the Lord. And therefore, no new knowledge can ever be produced. Gaining knowledge means what? Removal of ignorance. So we can say knowledge always existed, but we were ignorant of its existence. And therefore, discoveries are nothing but removal of ignorance. Every knowledge is discovery, and that knowledge exists in God. And therefore, he says, I am Nidhanam. I am the storehouse of all things, all beings, all forms of knowledge. And not only that, Avyayam Bhijam. I am the inexhaustible seed of this universe, inexhaustible seed, out of which infinite things appear and go on appearing. So, in short, he says, I am everything. And Krishna continues. So, again, I will read the sloka. You can repeat after me. Okay. Tapamyaham, tapamyahamaham, tapamyaham varsham.
Tapamyaham varsham.
Tapamyaham. I think this is mistake. But nighrannami, nighrannami, utsrijami cha,
Utsujami
amritam chaiva mrityuscha,
amritam chaiva
sadasachaham arjuna.
Arjuna.
So the Anvaya is aham tapami, aham nigrinnami cha utsrijami, varsham cha yeva amritam aham mrityuhu cha sat asat he Arjuna. Aham tapami, I energize the universe. Aham nigrinnami, I draw. Cha utsrijami, and release. Varsham, the rainy waters. Cha eva amritam, I alone am the cause of immortality. Aham mrityuhu, I am mortality. Cha sat asat, I am the manifest as well as the unmanifest. Hey Arjuna. So I energize the universe. I draw and release the rainy waters. I alone am the cause of immortality as well as mortality. I am the manifest as well as the unmanifest, O Arjuna. Now, Krishna comes to something which is recognized by all the people, whose importance each one of us knows. And what is that? Surya, the sun. We know the role played by the sun in our very existence. The very earth exists because of the sun. The very earth is energized because of the sun. And we survive because of the sun. And mind you, the sun is at the right distance. If it comes a little nearer, everything will be burned. If it goes a little back, everything will be frozen. And therefore, throughout the year, the distance between the sun and the earth is maintained in such a way that the whole earth is energized. And it is not only with reference to earth, with reference to all the other planets in our solar system. And then the sun, because of this process, is in the form of, it brings in seasons. So in various forms, the sun is important. And that is why in our daily prayers, we start our day with the prayers towards to sun only. Sun is taken as the manifestation of Ishvara, Pratyaksha Daiva. And in Sandhya Vandanam, the morning prayer, that is what we say. Mitrasya charshani dhritaha sravo devasya sanasim satyam chitrastavastamam mitro janan yatayati prajanan mitro dadara prithvi mutabhyam mitra krishti ranvichapi chaste satyaya havyam dhritavat vidhema. All this mitram means what? Suryan. Another name for Suryan is mitram. Don't confuse with the mitram.
Even Suryasya Mamanyascha.
Sorry?
Suryasya Mamanyascha.
I didn't get it.
Suryasya Mamanyascha.
That is, yeah, Suryasya Mamanyuscha.
Vadesya Manyakritebhya.
Manyukritebhya. That is a, Papa Rakshana Slokam, that is. We take that, in the hand, one spoon of water, little water, and we are praying to sun god to actually burn up all our papam. Suryasya, Mamanyuscha, Manyupratesya, Manyukritebhya, whatever I have done because of my anger, Papebhyo Rakshantam.
Correct.
Please save me from all the papas. Manasa Vacha Kartabhyam
Padhyam Udarena Sishyam.
Udarena Shishna Avastat Tavalumpat
Surya Jyotishi Sumehi Swaha.
Surya Jyotishi
Suhomi Swaha.
Swaha. So that is why we drink that. So that is again prayer to the Suryan. Suryan means what? Ishvara. We are praying to God. So the whole morning Sandhya Vandanam is glory of Surya. And Surya is what? Surya is the creator of everything, even for water. So in the afternoon again, we say the same thing. Asatyena rajasa vartamano niveshan amritam martyancha iranyena savitartena devo yati bhuvana vipashyan savitaratena. So there are beautiful mantras. If you actually understand the meaning of the Sandhya Vandanam mantras and regularly do those mantras, it is really very, very enriching, in terms of our own knowledge, in terms of our own attitude towards Ishvara, which is Sakalam. And evening the sun has set, it is Varuna mantra chanting, Imam Me Varunam and all. So the point we noted is, sun is taken as a representative of God. We owe our very existence to the sun. And ultimately, if you want inexhaustible energy, you will have to go for solar energy only. All the other conventional energy sources are limited and they are depleting. So if we want unending energy security, either we have to get it directly from the sun, or we should try to simulate the process of the sun and produce similar form of energy. Of course, I do not know how efficient that will be. The most efficient will be getting directly from the sun. It is there. In India, it is actually a very big boon. Throughout the year, we get the sun. Only then technology has to develop how to store that energy and transfer that energy. All that has to happen now. And I'm sure that with all this crisis, oil crisis, this crisis, tariff crisis and all happening, scientists will be working overtime to find solutions to all these problems. And therefore, Krishna says, remember that sun, I am. Aham tapami, Surya Rupena, in the form of sun, I alone energize. And that means energy in the form of both heat and light, I am. And not only that, I do a lot of other things also. While heating the earth, I heat the saline oceanic waters which evaporate and take it up. I take it up, condense the vapor, and then bring it back to earth in the form of pure potable water. And all these at no cost. This rainwater is also an important source for our survival. And Lord Krishna says, when all these things happen seasonally, do not take them for granted. When summer is very hot, appreciate that I am deliberately making it so hot so that the heat is able to evaporate the oceanic water. Therefore, don't curse me in summer. I do it for your own benefit. Learn to bear with some amount of discomfort. Because that heat is required for the ocean to evaporate, ocean waters to evaporate, and for me to take it up. So, aham varsham nigrinnami. Varsham means rainy waters I absorb through the sun's heat. And utsrajami cha, I release those waters. Nigrinnami means I absorb, utsrajami means I release. All with the help of sun and wind. And because of this alone, amritam chaiva mrityuscha. But this amritam chaiva mrityuscha has two meanings. One is a relative meaning, empirical meaning, and another is a philosophical meaning, Vedantic meaning. So the relative meaning is, I am the cause of survival of all beings, because through rains, I am the producer of food. And because of food alone, people escape from maranam, isn't it? Therefore, I am the cause of amritam. So, annadanena, I am the cause of survival. And suppose I withdraw my blessings. I do not do nigrinnami and utsrajami. Consequently, what will happen? There will be no rains. There will be drought, starvation. And all living beings will die in hordes. We have seen such things happening in parts of Africa. When in India, long before it happened, the drought. Therefore, Krishna says, I am the cause of mrityu also by producing drought. I am responsible for prosperity and survival, and I am responsible for drought and death also. So I control both survival and death by giving rain and by not giving rain. So this is from the Vyavaharika angle, empirical angle. From the philosophical angle, he says, I am the cause of both mortality and immortality. Here, immortality means jnanam. So I am the cause of immortality in the form of jnanam. I give jnanam and give immortality to the seekers. And I am the cause of mortality also. When I do not bless the people who are ajnanis and they do not pursue jnanam, they do not get immortality. So, mama sattva guna dwara amritasya karanam, mama tamo guna dwara ahameva mrityu karanam. I am the cause of both mortality and immortality. Then he says, Sat, Asat, Aham Eva. The words Sat and Asat have several meanings. But we will take a simpler meaning in this context. Sat means manifest creation, tangible creation, visible creation, Murta Prapancha. If you remember in Mundaka Upanishad, the word Satyam, I explained that there. Sat is Murta Prapancha and Yam is Amurta Prapancha. So the word Satyam covers the entire Prapancha, Murta, Amurta. Anyhow, just I remembered when Murta, Amurta Prapancha. So Sat is Murta Prapancha, manifest creation. Vyakta Prapancha hai. Asat means unmanifest, abstract, the Amurta Prapancha. For example, the physical body is a manifest one. Subtle body and causal body are unmanifest. Both are concrete and abstract, both concrete and abstract creation I am. So, Sat Asat Aham Eva. Now, Krishna continues, the 20th sloka. I will read, the meter is different. Traividya mam somapa puta papaha.
Vidyamam
What
Somapa
happened? Everybody stepped up for what? Traividya mam
Vidyamam
somapa puta papaha.
Somapa Puta Papaham
Yajnairištva
Yajneshwa
swargatim prartayante.
Swargatam Pratayante
Te punyamasadhya
Te Punyamasadya
surendra lokam ashnanti.
Surendra Lokam Ashnante
Divyan divi
Divyan Devi
devabhogan.
Devabhogan.
I think the energy levels are very low, isn't it? It's dinner time.
No, what's happening is when the mic is on, some call comes in, so I forgot to switch on the mic.
Okay. Right. Anyhow, the Anvaya of this sloka is Ishtva mam yajnaihi traividyaha somapaha putapapaha prartayante swargatim asadhya punyam surendra lokam te ashnanti divyan deva bhogan divi. Little involved Anvaya for this sloka. Ishtva, having worshipped me, yajnaihi, through yajnas, traividyaha, those people who know the three Vedas, somapaha, who drink the soma juice in somayaga, putapapaha, and who are thus purified of sins of their papas, prartayante, pray for, swargatim, access to heaven, asadhya, having reached, punyam surendra lokam, the sacred world of Indra, te ashnanti, they enjoy, divyan deva bhogan, the celestial pleasures of the gods, Divi in the heavens. So having worshipped me through yajnas, those people who know the three Vedas, who drink the Soma juice in Somayaga, and who are purified of their sins, pray for access to heavens. And having reached the sacred world of Indra, they enjoy the celestial pleasures of the gods in the heavens. Excuse me. So, with the previous verse, the 19th verse, the topic of bhakti as a means for liberation is over. Now, from this verse, the 20th verse, up to the 29th verse, Krishna wants to talk about two types of bhakti from another angle. What are they? Sakama bhakti and Nishkama bhakti. And we have already discussed that Sakama bhakti is a bhakti through which a person seeks either artha or kama, a bhakti which is utilized for material ends. And if it is Nishkama bhakti, a person chooses the same bhakti and he says, I am not interested in artha or kama because I know their limitation. Pariksha lokan karmachitan brahmana, we have seen in Undaka Upanishad. And therefore, I want to utilize the same bhakti for moksha or things connected with moksha, things allied to moksha. What do we mean by things allied to moksha? Sadhana chatushtaya sampatti should come. So we pray, oh Lord, may I have the purity of mind. So my prayer is, may I develop all the virtues which are required for knowledge. And if I have the qualifications, I can pray for opportunity to study the Shastras. Because without Shastra Vichara, where will I go? That is the guiding principle. And therefore, O Lord, give me an opportunity for Shastra Vichara. That is also Nishkama Bhakti only. And if I have got Shastra in my hand, but no Guru, it is like having a sealed bottle of cool drink in the hand without the opener. This is an example given by Swami Paramarthananda. I slightly modified the example. He talks about Coca-Cola and Pepsi and all, but I have said that's cool drink. So having the Shastra will not be of any use. It needs a special opener who can only open the Shastra, who can only unfold the Shastric message through a method called Sampradaya. So you can pray for a Guru. And if you are not satisfied with one Guru, you can pray for a better Guru. All these things will come under Nishkama Bhakti. And therefore, Krishna wants to talk about a comparative study of Sakama Nishkama Bhakti. And Krishna does not want to say which one you should choose. He presents both forms of bhakti. He says there are two forms of bhakti. You have to decide which to use. Choice is yours. I am here to give you what is the means and what is the end. So Krishna starts with Sakama Bhakti in verses 20 and 21 because majority of people come under Sakama Bhaktas only. Now, how do we differentiate between Sakama and Niskama? Will there be some special dress which a Sakama Bhakta will wear or a Niskama Bhakta will wear? Or will there be any other indication? How do we know who is a Sakama Bhakta? And more importantly, how does God knows that who is a Sakama Bhakta? And the answer we will see in the next class. Okay, I'll stop here. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadhaya Purnameva Vasishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om. Thank you all very much.
Thank you, Guruji.
Om.
Thank you, Guruji. Namaste, Pranam.
Namaste, Pranam.
Namaskaram.
Thank you, Guruji.
Thank you.
Thank
Namaste.
you very much, Guruji. Namaskaram.
Namaskaram.
Happy Gokulashtami tomorrow.
Yeah, happy Gokulashtami to all of you tomorrow. We are talking about Krishna only, so
Krishna only.
let us celebrate Krishna's Janam Din also.
Yes. Guruji, Gati is also speed, apart from destination.
Yeah,
Gati is also
we
speed.
have to take the contextual meaning, but even if you take Gati as speed, it fits into the sloka, Yeah, when he says I am everything, so everything includes speed also.
How fast you will reach? How fast
Yeah.
you will reach the destination?
Yeah, that's also there. But Gati is also destination, goal.
Okay.
The speed also is Gatihi and destination is also Gatihi. That's why in Sanskrit, the word has got so many meanings. So contextually, you have to take the meaning. You can take the meaning as speed also, nothing wrong with that. So that is how it works. Ultimately, what? These are all minor details Krishna is giving.
True.
If we understand I am all, when he says I am everything in the creation, and we understand and we start perceiving everything in the creation as God, then there is no problem at all. Although you would have reached you have passed the Aneka Rupa Ishvara test.
Thank you very much, Guruji. Namaskaram.
Thank you, Hariom. Thank you. Yes, any other question? Come and no hands have gone up.
None today.
None today. Okay, then we can close the session and continue next week. Hariom, thank you all once again.
Thank you, Guruji. Hari Om.